Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I've been a little busy with this thing and and another bike, which you may or may not have seen. But we'll get to that later. This is my new-ish Sur Ron X, Sur Ron Light BX, I think is what it is. It's the Sur Ron with the X controller. I bought it from Luna out in California. Really nice guys, super into these bikes. I got this bike a few months ago, like I said, from them. Right now they're having a sale, actually. They call it their spring sale, but it's fall and it's still going on. They do have pretty limited quantities of these bikes at the moment. I know they have their limited edition black X version, which comes with even a more updated controller than the stock X controller. I believe it's even faster and quieter. But they have the sale going on, like I said. You could save quite a few $100s if you were looking at getting one of these bikes. It's basically the size of a 125cc bike, 110cc dirt bike, but it's basically a mountain bike on crack, because it has quite a few mountain bike parts. Like this front fork is meant for a mountain bike. It's a DNM, I think it's 8 something fork. I'm pretty new into bikes. That's what took me so long to make a video too, is because I wanted to learn about it instead of just, spitting out crap. I did release another video earlier about this bike, and I wasn't really quite happy with it. So that's why I wanted to kind of remake it. But this is pretty much stock. I changed out a few things. I bought a front fender from Luna. I got Pro Taper hand grips because the stock ones are really gummy and I'm just not a fan of them. I got this mud flap just to kind of give my rear shock a little bit of extra protection. I got a new rear disc brake. I need to get one for the front. I added a little mirror right here. I had that from another bike, so I just put that on. And then I got the Luna bash plate. Stainless steel. It's a lot stronger than the aluminum one that comes stock with it. And I think that's it. I have a few more upgrades on the way. I got a taller handlebars. I got a new rear tire. I got a bunch of stuff for it coming in, so I'll probably do another video talking about that, but I'm going to go ahead and get on it and kind of talk to you about the controls real quick. This is just going to be like a quick little video, kind of learning about it. So getting on the bike, you'll feel pretty at home if you've ever ridden a mountain bike or any other bike. Honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's just a few things that are different about it. Obviously, it's electric, so the power output's a little different. You have a lot of torque at the low end, and it takes a little bit to accelerate to the top end, but once you reach the top end, it's pretty consistent, and it's very quiet, as you would assume from an electric bike. You got your rear brake over here, you have a front brake over here, so there's no clutch like a dirt bike, but these do have sensors on them that you can take out. So basically what that means is if I'm giving it throttle and I tap the rear brake, not only will it apply brake, but it will also turn the throttle off. But you can't take that out. I plan to, because I do like to do wheelies, and doing that with the sensor on, it's nice and safe that it will always kind of let you down, like the bike down, not let you personally down, but it'll bring the bike down with just any bit of rear brake, because it cuts the throttle off completely. And then it also has a sensor on the kickstand, so if you were to leave the kickstand down and try to go, it wouldn't go. Obviously the bike isn't on right now, but so there's those. You have the mode adjustment, so you can go into sport mode and EP mode. You have a horn. It's pretty loud. I'll show you that in a second once I turn the bike on. Obviously you have your throttle, and then you have your adjustments for the front fork suspension, as well as you can adjust the rear as well. You have the headlight up front. You do have a tail light. The tail light does not go on when you apply any sort of brake, and the front one is always on when you turn the bike on. So yeah, to turn the bike on, you just turn that switch over and the bike then turns on. You'll see on the speedometer that it goes through a little time thing, and then it pops on. And it also has a key on the side here. You put that in. Let me kind of shimmy it in. Sometimes it gets a little stuck. There we go. And this allows access to the battery as well as the breaker and the connectors. And this is the basically full power mode on this bike. I bought my bike a few months ago, back in like June or July, and basically it came with this wire connected in sport mode, or excuse me, in street legal mode is how it comes. So basically what that means is sport mode or EP mode, the top speed is only 25 miles an hour. That's to keep it street legal. And then if you were to cut these wires like I did here, then going to sport mode you get full beans, so you know you go up to about 45 miles an hour. But on some of the older models they came pre-cut, and then you just soldered them on together, and then you had full power mode. It just depends on when you bought your Sur Ron. As well as a little USB plug in there for your phone or any other electronic. So let's go ahead and put the kickstand up, and let's just go and ride around a little bit. I should probably turn it on. And boom, then you're ready to go. There's no warming up the engine or nothing. Just gonna kind of take you around the yard a bit. It's a pretty small yard, but like I said, this has a really interesting power output, so just really high on the torque. And then because it is such a light bike, taking it off jumps is pretty easy. So this is sport mode, like I said. As you can see, there's quite a lot of power. Doing wheelies is pretty easy and straightforward. Still got to get used to it a bit. Still practicing. Like I said, I only have about 250 miles on this bike. It's a pretty new bike. And a lot of that time has just been riding around with it. So here's kind of the difference between EP mode and sport mode. So we're in sport mode with the wires cut so we have full power. So if we just give it full throttle, that front wheel was up. So we hit about 27, 28 miles an hour right there. Now if we were to try that again in EP mode, there we go, that was a good one. If we try that again in EP mode, you'll probably notice that one of the big things is the front wheel won't come up. So no matter really how hard I pull this back, you'll still go fast, about 26, but I mean the torque is way less. I only got up to about 21, but you'll notice, whoa, that was interesting. But you'll notice one thing. That in EP mode, you can actually cruise for a little bit more. What I'm saying is, with the X controller, when you flip it into sport mode, it wants to slow down a lot more. There's basically simulated engine braking, very, very, very slight, but it is there, and it regenerates the battery, so you use less of it in a way. So if you're going downhill without the throttle, you'll generate power. But as you can see right now, I pretty much came to a stop. I didn't touch any of the brakes. I'm going downhill and I'm barely rolling. But if I were in sport mode, or excuse me, in EP mode when I did that, then I'd cruise for a little longer. So a way you can do that is if you were to get top speed and then just switch it down to EP mode, nothing on the, I was going a little faster, but you could see just how much further I really went. And it continued to want to go more. But this is honestly just a really fun bike. I did take it to an off-road track, which I'll talk about probably at a little bit more in a later video, and I'll bring the GoPro to it so you can experience that a little bit, but that's a lot of fun. But yeah, if you guys are interested in these bikes, check out Lunicycles if you're in the States. If you're anywhere else, I'm not really sure. It is a Chinese manufactured bike, so it is already pretty cheap, and it's just so much fun, especially for being an electric, like, dirt bike or mountain bike, whatever you want to call it. It's just a lot of fun. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them. I'll try to respond to them as much as I can. I do look at every single one of them, and I do try to respond to every single one of them. It might just take a little bit of time. But make sure you like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good one. Peace.